I think he's a good football coach. We have not won, and he will tell you firsthand, like, winning matters in this league, and we haven't done that. But as a coach goes, I have the highest respect for him, what he's done here. And it's, I know it is what for you done now, but like, we've been to 2 playoff games, we've had winning records, we've been competitive.
The Cleveland Browns just became the most chaotic organization in professional football, and that's saying something for a franchise that's been drowning in dysfunction for decades. Here's the bombshell that's rocking the NFL right now. Kevin Stefanski, the man who won Coach of the Year just 2 seasons ago, has allegedly been demoted by owner Jimmy Haslam. His crime: overseeing the complete and total destruction of an offensive line so bad that Pro Football Focus literally ranked it dead last in the entire National Football League. But here's where this story gets absolutely insane. While Stefanski watches his power slip away, the rookie quarterback he allegedly didn't even want to play just walked into Huntington Bank Field and outdueled a 4-time MVP, future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 13-6.
I'm going to say it again. Kevin Stefanski must be fired. I'm going to say it again and again and again. Kevin Stefanski did not want Shador Sanders, didn't even want him in the 5th round. Kevin Stefanski has done everything in his power.
Let that sink in for a moment. The coach is getting demoted. The quarterback he tried to bench is becoming a star. And the Cleveland Browns have officially transformed into the NFL's most dramatic soap opera. Buckle up, because this story has more twists than a championship playoff game. Reports are flooding out of Cleveland right now, and they're painting a picture of an organization in complete turmoil. Multiple sources within Cleveland media are confirming that Kevin Stefanski's role has been significantly reduced. The power structure is shifting, and it's shifting fast. Andrew Barry, the team's general manager, is now reportedly running the entire operation. Let me repeat that for emphasis. The general manager is now calling shots that used to belong to the head coach. That's not a minor organizational tweak. That's a full-scale power transfer happening in the middle of a season. And who's behind this move? None other than Jimmy Haslam himself. Now, Haslam has a reputation. Browns fans know it all too well. He's been called a meddling owner, someone who can't keep his hands off the football operations. But this time, a growing number of people in Cleveland are saying this intervention might actually be justified. The question everyone's asking is simple. How did it get this bad? The answer starts with 5 letters: O-line. Let's talk about what's really happening on that offensive line, because the numbers are absolutely damning. Pro Football Focus, the gold standard for NFL analytics, ranks the Cleveland Browns' offensive line as the worst in professional football. Not bottom 5, not bottom 3, dead last, number 32 out of 32 teams. And it's not just the ranking, it's the catastrophic details underneath. The injury report reads like a hospital intake form. Starters going down left and right.
I mean, you saw it in 2023, right? We had 5 different quarterbacks start games, or 6, or however many it was. And then the last 2 years, it's been a rotation of quarterbacks. And we're working. We have a couple young rookie quarterbacks that are playing and showing promise. But until that quarterback position is solved in the NFL, like, it is hard to win games. It is the most
before they're ready. Practice squad players being asked to block NFL pass rushers who have been perfecting their craft for a decade. Take Kevin Jenkins at right guard. In his last 3 starts, he's allowed 9 pressures. 9, and he didn't even finish 2 of those games. That's not just bad. That's putting your quarterback's career and physical safety at risk. Then there's the Wyatt Teller situation. Teller is actually capable when healthy, but what does Stefanski do? He insists on a rotation. Even when Teller is ready to play, Stefanski keeps rotating in other guards. The decision has left analysts and fans completely baffled. Matt Blank, a respected NFL analyst, recently called out Stefanski publicly for these questionable decisions. His criticism was pointed and direct. Why is the coach actively making choices that weaken an already catastrophic offensive line? Here's how bad it really is. Commentators have joked that Shador Sanders isn't playing behind NFL linemen. He's playing behind gym teachers, librarians, random guys pulled off the street. That's only a slight exaggeration. This is the worst supporting cast in professional football, and everyone in the league knows it. Everyone except, apparently, the coaching staff that keeps making decisions that make it worse. Now let's put Kevin Stefanski directly under the microscope, because the offensive line disaster is just the tip of the iceberg. Here's a question that should haunt every Browns fan. Name one quarterback Kevin Stefanski has developed during his time in Cleveland. Go ahead, take your time. I'll wait. You can't name one because there isn't one. Baker Mayfield came in with his skills already formed. Deshaun Watson arrived as an established star, and we all know how that situation unfolded. The quarter
to get into this. Jimmy Haslam making changes around this organization. Anybody who might be a part of this sabotage is probably going to get the door. Kevin Stefanski will be fired at the end of this season. Andrew Berry to be determined. Cleveland's last 2 games. The underlying issue here is painfully obvious, which is why Cleveland's roster move has fans utterly confused. So here it says Browns, they decide to release Garrett Dillinger. So they're getting any of these guys that was stinking, that may have possibly been in on the sabotage.
Stefanski's watch, but the most damning evidence came out recently, and it's almost too absurd to believe. Reports indicate that Kevin Stefanski's staff gave Shador Sanders the wrong plays on his wristband. Let that sink in. In the National Football League, where preparation is everything, where milliseconds matter, where one wrong read can end a drive or a career, the coaching staff allegedly gave their rookie quarterback incorrect plays. That's not a minor oversight. That's borderline sabotage, and it gets worse. Multiple sources inside the organization have suggested that Stefanski didn't want to play Shador Sanders at all, the rookie quarterback who just beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, the young man who outplayed Aaron Rodgers. Stefanski reportedly wanted him riding the bench. Think about what that means for a moment. If it wasn't for Andrew Berry trading Joe Flacco and forcing a quarterback competition, Shador Sanders might never have seen the field. The franchise's best hope at the position in years would have been buried on the depth chart because the head coach didn't believe in him. Some people in Cleveland are calling it a conspiracy. They're saying Shador Sanders was systematically set up to fail, the wrong plays. The worst offensive line, the refusal to put him in games, it paints a picture of a coaching staff actively working against their own player. Now, is that fair to Stefanski? Maybe injuries would have derailed any coach. Maybe no one could have succeeded with this roster. But when you combine the offensive line disaster with the questionable decisions, the wrong wristband plays, and the apparent resistance to playing your best young quarterback, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Here's the beautiful irony in all of this chaos. While Kevin Stefanski watches his authority disappear, Shador Sanders is emerging as a legitimate franchise quarterback. The player the coach allegedly didn't want is becoming the best thing about this organization. December 28, 2025. Remember that date. That's when Shador Sanders announced his arrival to the NFL in the loudest possible way. The Pittsburgh Steelers came into Cleveland fighting for the AFC North title. They needed that win desperately after Baltimore's Saturday night victory kept the division race alive. Pittsburgh had everything to play for. Cleveland was sitting at 3-12, supposedly playing for draft position and nothing else. But Shador Sanders didn't get that memo. He came out firing on that opening drive, connecting with Brendan Bates for 19 yards while evading pressure. He hit Jerry Jeudy on a crucial third down conversion. Then came the throw that announced he belonged in this league. Second drive. Shador drops back and launches a 42-yard bomb down the left sideline to Cedric Tillman. Perfect placement, perfect velocity, perfect touch. That's not a rookie throw. That's a franchise quarterback throw. The dagger came on a 28-yard touchdown to Harold Fannin Jr. Shador placed that ball high enough that only his receiver could get it. Fannin twisted, caught it at the goal line, and rolled across for the score. Cleveland Stadium erupted, then disaster struck. Fannin aggravated a groin injury on that same touchdown catch. He was done for the game. Shador's only reliable target, his security blanket, his fellow rookie who'd been his one consistent connection all season, was gone. Most quarterbacks panic when their best weapon disappears. Most rookies fold under that pressure. Shador Sanders just kept playing football. He finished the game 17 of 23 for 186 yards against one of the league's best defenses. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers, the 4-time MVP with 63,000 career passing yards and over 500 touchdowns, went 21 of 39. That's 18 incompletions, 168 yards, 3 of 15 on third down, 0 of 4 on fourth down. Read that again. The Hall of Fame quarterback, surrounded by actual NFL talent and protected by a competent offensive line, went 3 for 18 on crucial downs. The rookie with the worst supporting cast in football outplayed him decisively. Yes, Shador threw 2 interceptions. Yes, the second half was ugly at times, but that's what rookies do. They make mistakes and learn from them. What's not supposed to happen is winning games despite those mistakes. What's not supposed to happen is outplaying 4-time MVPs with no help around you. The kid has poise. He has the it factor. He processes defenses, makes pre-snap adjustments, and delivers accurate footballs under pressure. Those aren't developmental project traits. Those are franchise quarterback skills, and he developed them on his own, not because of Kevin Stefanski, despite Kevin Stefanski. The power struggle happening inside the Cleveland Browns organization right now is unlike anything we've seen in recent NFL history. On one side, you have Kevin Stefanski, the head coach clinging to whatever authority remains. On the other side, you have Andrew Berry, the general manager who's now reportedly running the entire show with Jimmy Haslam's blessing. Let's be clear about something. Andrew Barry might have saved this franchise. He's the one who drafted Shador Sanders. He's the one who traded Joe Flacco and created the quarterback competition that forced the rookie onto the field. Without Andrew Barry's moves, Shador Sanders would probably still be holding a clipboard, and the Browns would be even more hopeless than they already are. The irony is thick enough to cut with a knife. The general manager who believed in the rookie is gaining power. The head coach who allegedly didn't want to play the rookie is losing it. And the rookie himself is proving everyone right and wrong at the same time. Jimmy Haslam's involvement adds another layer to this drama. The owner has never been shy about making changes when he feels they're necessary. He's fired coaches. He's restructured front offices. He's made moves that shocked the league. If he's truly shifting power away from Stefanski, it signals that he's lost confidence in the head coach's vision. Some people in Cleveland are calling for Stefanski's complete removal. They point to the lack of quarterback development. They point to the offensive line mismanagement. They point to the wristband fiasco and the alleged resistance to playing Shador. They say the evidence is overwhelming. Others argue Stefanski is being made a scapegoat. They note the historically bad injury luck. They acknowledge that no coach could succeed with this roster. They plead for patience and perspective, but here's the reality. Whether Stefanski is the problem or a convenient scapegoat, the organizational structure is already changing. Power is shifting. Roles are being redefined. The Cleveland Browns are transforming in real time, and Kevin Stefanski's position looks more precarious by the day. The question isn't whether changes are coming. The question is how dramatic those changes will be. So where does Cleveland go from here? The Browns have one game left. Match up against the Cincinnati Bengals that will close out this chaotic season. If Shador Sanders wins that game, Cleveland finishes 5-12. That's 2 wins better than last season, accomplished despite every possible obstacle being thrown in this rookie's path. The speculation about Stefanski's future is reaching fever pitch. Some Cleveland insiders are saying these could be his final games as head coach. Others believe he might survive into next season, albeit with significantly reduced authority. Nobody seems confident about anything except the uncertainty itself. What seems increasingly clear is that Andrew Barry's vision will guide this team moving forward. That means building around Shador Sanders. That means prioritizing the offensive line in free agency and the draft. That means surrounding the young quarterback with actual NFL-caliber weapons instead of the practice squad receivers he's been throwing to all season. The receiving core ranks dead last in the league alongside that offensive line. The infrastructure around Shador Sanders has been historically bad, and yet the kid keeps winning games against playoff-caliber opponents. Imagine what he could do with actual support. The off-season priorities are obvious to everyone watching. Fix the offensive line. Find legitimate receiving threats. Decide once and for all whether Kevin Stefanski is part of the solution or the problem. Cleveland hasn't had a franchise quarterback in decades. They might have accidentally stumbled into one, while everyone was focused on draft positioning and tank strategies. The smartest thing this organization can do is protect that investment by giving Shador Sanders every possible resource to succeed. The ceiling on this young quarterback looks astronomical. His poise under pressure is remarkable. His accuracy when he has time is NFL caliber. His ability to win games despite catastrophic circumstances suggests a mental toughness that can't be taught. All of that happened not because of the coaching staff, but in spite of it. Imagine what happens when the organization actually aligns behind him. Let's bring this full circle. The Cleveland Browns are living through organizational chaos unlike anything in recent memory. Their head coach has been demoted, stripped of authority by an owner who's apparently seen enough. Their offensive line has been exposed as the worst in professional football, a catastrophic failure that endangered their rookie quarterback's development and physical safety. But in the middle of all this dysfunction, something beautiful is happening. Shador Sanders is becoming a star. The player who is allegedly unwanted by his own coach is proving every doubter wrong. He just outplayed a Hall of Fame quarterback with no help around him. He's winning games that Cleveland has no business winning. He's showing the poise and processing ability that separates franchise quarterbacks from developmental projects. The narratives need updating. The takes need revising. The doubters need to acknowledge what's happening right in front of their eyes. Kevin Stefanski might not survive this season. Even if he does, his authority has been permanently diminished. The power structure in Cleveland has shifted, and it's not shifting back. But here's what matters most. The Cleveland Browns might have finally found their quarterback. Despite the chaos, despite the mismanagement, despite an offensive line that belonged in a comedy sketch rather than an NFL game, despite a coaching staff that allegedly set their rookie up to fail, Shador Sanders refused to fail anyway. That's not luck. That's not circumstance. That's a special player emerging from impossible conditions. Cleveland's future suddenly looks brighter than it has in years, not because of organizational competence, not because of coaching brilliance. But because one young man refused to let dysfunction define his destiny, the Browns are a mess, but they might have accidentally stumbled into their franchise quarterback while burning everything else to the ground. Sometimes that's how legends begin, in chaos, in controversy, in circumstances that would break ordinary players. Shador Sanders isn't ordinary, and the NFL is about to find out just how extraordinary he can become. This story is far from over. The drama in Cleveland is just beginning, and one way or another, the football world will be watching every single move this organization makes next.